Zap, 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 lightning, zap, zap, lightning, lightning, fade.
Hello everybody, it's me, the LEGO Dude, and in today's video I'll be talking about every LEGO Star Wars set which is going to be retiring at the end of 2025. The list won't be complete until we get full information on the rest of the sets releasing in 2024, however since the retiring list is already nearly 20 sets long, I thought it would make sense to make a video about it already. Kicking things off, first up we have the 40547 Obi-Wan Kenobi vs Darth Vader Brickheads, which released on August 1st in 2022 for $20. For Brickheads, it's already had an extensive lifespan, and if it doesn't retire until the end of 2025, it'll have lasted for 3.5 years. There is a possibility that gets pushed to the 2024 retirement list, but assuming it lasts until the end of 2025, I would think it might have overstayed its welcome. Next up we have the 75192 UCS Millennium Falcon, which released in October 2017 and now costs $850. By the end of 2025, it'll have been available for 99 months, therefore making it the LEGO Star Wars set with the longest lifespan ever. At this point, the UCS Millennium Falcon is basically the flagship iconic UCS Star Wars set released by LEGO, so seeing it retire, even after a planned lifespan of nearly 8.5 years, is quite surprising. They might be retiring it so that they can release a follow-up version in 2026, or they might just retire it without any follow-up version at all. Either way though, it's still surprising to see it retire after it's been part of the furniture for so long. Next up we have the 75325 Mandalorian N1 Starfighter, which released in June 2022 for $60. By the end of 2025, it'll have been out for 3.5 years, which would usually be an abnormally long lifespan. However, with the upcoming The Mandalorian movie, which was announced to replace The Mandalorian Season 4, this is a quite logical thing to do for LEGO. LEGO know how popular The Mandalorian is, and with the newly announced movie, they have no reason to retire the N1 Starfighter anytime soon since it'll keep making a ton of money. Since the Mandalorian movie is slated for a 2026 release, it seems that LEGO's plan is to keep it out until right before the movie releases, before then releasing a new version alongside the movie. Next up we have the 75328 Mandalorian Helmet, which released in March 2022 for $70. For the same reasons as the N1 Starfighter, it makes sense that it also isn't retiring anytime soon, even though it probably deserves to. Next up is our final set based off the Mandalorian with the 75331 UCS Razor Crest, which released on October 7th, 2022 for $600. It's one of the largest LEGO Star Wars sets ever released, and since price and size usually correlate to a longer lifespan, it's a bit surprising to see it retire already. With the set this big, I would expect a lifespan of maybe 4 years, however since the Razor Crest was destroyed in The Mandalorian Season 2, LEGO probably didn't feel the need to keep it on shelves for a long time. Next up we have the 75337 ATTE, which released in August 2022 for $140. Usually a set like this wouldn't last this long, however since it's been selling so well, LEGO probably thought that extending its lifespan was warranted. The whole prequel era is basically just money waiting for LEGO, so there's no reason for them to retire the ATTE. Next up we have the 75349 Captain Rex Helmet, which released in March 2023 for $70. This playsets will usually only last about 18 months, but with this being part of the last wave of helmet sets and also being based off a specific iconic character, it makes sense to see it get a nearly 3-year lifespan. Next up we have the 75355 UCS X-Wing, which released in May 2023 for $240. Being a more small-scale UCS set, a 2.5-year lifespan seems reasonable, but since it's an X-Wing, I would have expected a bit longer of a lifespan. Next up is the 75362 Ahsoka Tano's T6 Shuttle, which released in September 2023 for $80. Ahsoka Season 2 is scheduled for release sometime in 2025, so it makes sense that LEGO would want to keep this on shelves until at least then. Next up is the 75367 UCS Venator, which released in October 2023 for $650. A lifespan of just 2 years is puzzlingly short for a $650 UCS set. Usually a lifespan of 3 years is the bare minimum, but LEGO are taking the Venator off shelves quite early. It might not be selling as well as they thought it would since it's so expensive, but I doubt that that's the main reason for it retiring this early. Next up is the 75372 Clone Troopers and Battle Droids Battle Pack, which released in January 2024 for $30. 18 to 24 months is a normal battle pack lifespan, so this isn't unusual in any way. The final set that we have confirmed to retire at the end of 2025 is the 75384 4+ Crimson Firehawk. It released on January 1st, 2024 for $50. It's an overpriced 4+ set getting an average lifespan, so I'm happy to see it go. 3 more sets which will most likely retire in 2025 are the midi-scale versions of the Millennium Falcon, Tantive 4, and Invisible Hand, which will all release on March 1st, 2024 for $80, $70, and $53 respectively. This playsets usually last around 18 months, so the retirement at the end of 2025 should be about 90% locked in. There's a couple of odd and disappointing retirement choices, but overall this is still a much better retirement list so far than the 2024 retirement list. Alright everyone, that is everything for today's video. Tell me your thoughts on the 2025 retirement list in the comment section down below. Which set do you think deserves to retire? Which sets do you think don't deserve to retire? Overall, is this a good list or a bad list? And one last thing before you leave, please remember to hit the subscribe button, ring the notifications bell, and leave a like on the video. Bye!